Coach Imran. We are glad to meet you today. American football is now practiced in Uganda. Okay, please, can you talk about the sport and its growth in Uganda?
Yep. American football with popularity in Uganda, it's growing, though it has not been so much embraced at the time since the game was introduced in 1986 by Tom Kelly. It was Makerere University, and it came back around 2000. Again, it was not so much embraced because Ugandans could not understand the sport as well due to poor technology. But now, right now, since the country is modified in terms of technology, in terms of social media as well, American football is growing its popularity because when the federation came in, that is American Football Federation of Uganda, introduced the sport. We are trying to get reference from the social media, from the websites, USA Football, International Federation of American Football, and the videos we have been watching all over the years, like movies, USA high school movies, where you find the sport is being played by the college football players. So now we are trying to come up with a sport because some people have prior knowledge about the sport as well.
Okay. What do you think should be done for the sport to grow in Uganda?
We believe when we use internet, social media, get funding agencies, the sport will grow. How? When we have social media groups, media agencies come in, especially the TVs, radio stations, people on Facebook, websites, YouTube. We believe such media programs will help us to nurture the sport and sensitize the people about the sports and its activities. Another thing, we need to sensitize parents as well. Since internet has grown in Uganda, we need to sensitize parents through using their WhatsApp, to use their social media like Facebook, and we encourage them more to understand the sport with its activities as well.
What are challenges you face as a coach?
There are so many challenges as well. First of all, the sport lacks a lot of materials for the coaches, especially. Athletes cannot learn the sport when we lack materials. We lack equipment that we can use also when you're training athletes. We lack funds in terms of motivating athletes and that can support them during the training sessions. We coaches, first of all, since we don't have experts like professionals to come in Uganda and help us, we would love to extend our request to those who are professionals to come and give us what are the best methods of training the sport. And also we would love to know how the sport is going to be motivated. First of all, another challenge is corporate companies in Uganda fear to come and sponsor the sport. Why? Because the sport is at its initial stage. Being at the initial stage, it is also a challenge. And parents need to be sensitized. Players, those who are going to engage themselves, need to be sensitized about the sport and its activities. Even the fans as well. That's another way, and that is another challenge why the sport is not growing fast. Another challenge also, the funds. We lack funds, especially to facilitate the equipment, to facilitate the training. Athletes need motivation, coaches need motivation, because some of them, they come from families where they're being motivated. Coaches also have families they have to take care of, meaning fund is also another challenge as well.
What could be the solution to those challenges?
The solution to those challenges, we're just extending our request to the partners, the sponsors, the donors, the funding agencies, the media agencies that can also help us to publicize the sport as well. Whereby the sport can reach those people exactly need to know how the sport is played, what are the effects of the sport, both positives and negatives. So that could be some of the solutions. We also need the coach education. Like, coaches have to be mentored about the sport. We need professionals whom we are going to get feedback from as well. That is also another challenge, especially a solution to those who are training, the trainers, and the athletes as well. Because athletes need to see different coaches from around the world. Also can also another big can also be a solution or can also motivate them to come in numbers.
Okay. We hear that Coach Imran, you started an American football club or academy. Okay, can you please talk about it?
Yeah, one of another solution I forgot to mention in the solutions. I started a club, an academy, and a coaches association. It could also be another solution. How? When we start clubs, the game is going to be nurtured at the youth leagues, because we're going to be having leagues, tournaments, competitions. We are going to get supporters, fans, funders, sponsors, and whatever. So when we have an academy, it's definitely the sport has two. The sport has so many strategies. In one way of the nurturing the sport to grow, we need to know that the sport is having 3 levels or 3 game types. We have non-contact, that is flag football. We have limited contact, that is tackle bar football, and we have full contact, that is tackle football. Whereby the academy is going to help us to teach athletes and parents about these game types, whereby everybody would love to go to each level and specialize it to that, as we are grooming the coaches, as we are grooming the athletes as well. Then in later, we shall be having the student athletes when we incorporate the sport in the school curriculum, and also another solution as well. And the coaches education, which will help us to educate both athletes and coaches and the parents as well.
Thank you, Mr. Imran.
You're welcome.